working with each other as we go forward. And, you know, and I have a meeting set up. I have a meeting set up with Secretary Kelly. The success of Montgomery County is a lot of the success of the state of Maryland. We have mutual interests in making sure that we get the investment and we get the opportunities brought back to Montgomery County. And so we're going to be working together to make sure that we get everything we can do. I've been down in Annapolis about 3 days a week since the session. I've been making sure that I'm down there talking to people we need to talk to. I also want to put a pitch in for the letter A that's not in STEM, that would turn it into STEAM, and that's the arts. Because and I have a particular interest in the art of history, because those that don't know it are condemned to repeat it. And whether you're talking about the women's movement or the civil rights movement, the lack of knowledge of the younger generation of the struggles that people went through to get where we are, which isn't even where we need to end up, but just to move where we are, to not know that and not understand that, I think really impairs people's ability to really interact with each other. If you don't understand the struggles and issues that people dealt with through time, and you think this is all about, can I put the right number in a computer and create the right formula, we're missing a large part of our human relationship. So I think there's room for A in that word, and I think there's a real need for A in that word. So that's my personal pitch. You know, support the STEM education, but don't put the A in there. And they can still mispronounce it if it makes them happy. We need a silent A. So, just as long as we all get the message. So I want to welcome everybody to Montgomery County. It's a pleasure to be here today. I've done this on numerous occasions and been here for this event for years and years and years, even going back to when I was a city council member in Tacoma Park. And I think the work that's done here is really important. And like everybody else, I want to thank Angela Quigley and Donna Rojas and Mercy and Jody and Nicole Drew for what they've done to pull all this stuff together. And this is really important, and I'm glad people are here. And I had a pleasure of meeting with the Women's Commission last week to discuss the report before it came out. I wanted to thank everybody for coming in and talking to me about it. And I thought, I think it's important. I like the fact that it talked about what we've done, but also about what we need to do. I worry sometimes that Montgomery County, we celebrate a bit too much about what we've accomplished and forget a bit too much about what remains to be done. And if you're late moving on, you have a hard time going out to the public and saying, we've got struggles and we've got to address those struggles, or everything's wonderful. It's like, why are you coming to me for more money and more programs? And so I think it's important to tell the whole story. And people have worked hard to achieve what we've achieved in Montgomery County, but there are issues in Montgomery County that cross a wide range of our social experience, and we've got to address those issues. And I look forward to doing that as county executive. We're creating an equity office, and we've talked a lot about racial equity in Montgomery County, but it also includes gender equity. I mean, there are two groups that have been just historically mistreated, and one is women, and the other is minorities, and particularly African Americans in this country. And we have to come to terms with both those things, and we need to be more conscious as a government when we embrace policies or decide we're going to do something, that we're thinking about how it affects people, not just the good things. I think I believe my predecessors and anyone who's ever really stepped foot in the office tried to do the right thing, but we don't always think about secondary impacts. We're not always aware that something we think we're doing may actually negatively affect parts of the community, and it's our job to be conscious of that. And my administration is going to be conscious of it. We're going to have an equity office. It'll be staffed by real people. This will not be their side job. And we're requiring all the departments to adopt equity lenses, and they're going to be evaluated at the center of the administration, because I don't want departments evaluating themselves, because historically all reports are good. And that's a natural tendency. So I wanted to be sure, that they're evaluated by somebody no one's going to say has a stake. And I think it'll make everybody more transparent. And I look forward to as much input as people want to give me. Anybody who knows me knows I run a pretty open office. If you're experiencing difficulty meeting with me right now, it's only because everybody in the world is trying to meet with me right now. I tell people that in my office I can go to 3 different rooms, and a typical day is continually exiting one room and deciding which of the other 2 rooms I immediately walk into, then leave that room and pick which of the other 2 rooms I'm going into. I bemoan the fact that I actually don't have any time to think right now until I actually leave the office, because there's a steady stream of information and requests coming in, but we're trying to be sensitive and responsive to people out there, and I know a lot of folks have high expectations, and I want to be sure that our administration is able to meet those high expectations. If you heard me talk during the campaign, you know, we put emphasis on thriving youth and families, and those are issues that, you know, affect every community in Montgomery County, and we're intent on dealing with that. We're going to grow the economy, and we're going to put more emphasis on small businesses. We're still going to keep the Economic Development Corporation. We like what they do, but there's an enormous space at the community level that we have not occupied for a long time. And so we're going to put resources in at the ground level. We're going to have economic development specialists attached to regional service centers. We're looking to do incubators, and not just biotech incubators, which are interesting, but there's a whole bunch of other incubators. And we're going to focus not just on jobs for the kids who are going to go to college and want to go on to the biotech companies or the IT companies. We're going to focus on jobs for kids who aren't going to go to college but still want to work. And we need to re-legitimize in Montgomery County the idea that there are great jobs out there, and you don't need a 4-year degree to get them. And you can have a decent life in Montgomery County, you know, doing a lot of different things, as long as you do what you do well and are committed to doing your job the best you can. And so we want to make sure that the opportunities are out there for people, that the county aggressively promotes economic development, and especially promotes small business development, and frankly, employee ownership. You know, getting employees to work together and say, can we run this company together? And one of the initiatives we want to take is looking at when people retire from their companies. A lot of businesses in Montgomery County shut down when the owner leaves. And we want to try to produce some channels for the workers to actually buy those businesses, because they were working until the employer decided he didn't want to work anymore, or she didn't want to work anymore. So we want to be able to provide opportunities for employees to keep those businesses thriving and keep them ongoing, rather than putting people out of work because the employer is ready for retirement. So that's one place we think we can help existing employees maintain their employment and continue to be active in the economy. I hope that we, you know, we're up for dealing with the challenges and understanding the challenges that are out there in the community. And I've told all the other groups I've ever worked with in this long, grueling 2-year ordeal of getting elected that I really do look for input from other people, because I don't walk in other people's shoes. I may be well-intentioned, and I think I've got a good sense of right and wrong, but it doesn't put me in a position to tell you what I need, what I'm going to do for you. So and I tell people, if you come and ask me what I'm going to do, I'm probably going to ask you to tell me what you think I ought to do, because these are your experiences, these are your lives, these are things that you know better than I do, and I need to have my ears open and be paying attention to what you think you need, and you don't need me telling you what you need. If I'm lucky enough, thank you. If I'm lucky enough that we coincide on that, that's good. But if we don't coincide, then it's my job to listen and to learn. And I want you to know that I do see that as my job. I want to lead this county forward, but I think you can do an awfully good job of leading by learning how to listen. And then that tells you where to lead. So I look at this as, you know, a symbiotic relationship, and I hope you all will continue to, you know, come to my office, meet with me about your concerns, and let me know what you expect out of the county executive. And it's my goal to live up to your expectations. So again, welcome to you today. Learn a lot and take what you learn and put it into action. And think of me as an ally. I mean, I would tell people, I get a lot of folks who come to my office as a council member and they want to lobby me. And I go through about 5 minutes of lobbying and say, why are you lobbying me? No, I agree with you. let's sit down and figure out how to get this done. I wasn't sending him out of the office. I'm saying, what's the strategy? What do we do? Who do we need to talk to? What role should I play as a council member? And I expect the same from you. If you know I'm an ally, use me as an ally. Don't spend a half hour trying to convince me of something I'm already to do. Figure out what role you want me to play in getting it done. If you let me know that, I can be a more effective actor on your behalf. Thank you very much.